Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Moved from the back of the line to the front of the line. Some years ago, I heard a statement that caught my attention. I have mused on it on many occasions, trying to make sense of it. Today, I want to introduce it in our conversation. The person who recited it then spoke specifically of a dramatic positive change in her life, and she was enormously elated. God has moved me from the back of the line to the front of the line. Sorrow and pain turned to joy. Come with me, therefore, and let us explore this statement of hope. Maybe, just maybe, today's message is just for you. I want to use a biblical text as our base, somewhat like the platform on which this argument is built. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Matthew 23 and verse 12. At the 2024 Paris Olympics, there was a special presentation of medals to some athletes whose placing in events at previous Olympic Games were revised. They received the upgraded medals at a special ceremony in the presence of family and friends and in the atmosphere of the Olympics. This was brought about because in most, if not all the cases, athletes who earned medals as far back as the 2000 Olympic Games were later found to have used performance-enhancing drugs and subsequently disqualified, and their medals were awarded to the athlete below. Of the 10, 2 persons were upgraded to gold medal status, up from silver. 6 former athletes were upgraded from 4th place and no medal to 3rd place and a bronze medal each. Of course, the other 2 were silver medals upgraded from bronze medals. Congratulations to those athletes who received their correct medals, if only at a much later date. Now, can we talk about you? You might be saying, that is me. I have been at the back of the line forever. Well, I'm come with news of hope just for you. One person in the Bible that comes to mind is Joseph, the 11th of the 12 sons of Jacob. He was also his father's favorite, but due to a series of unfortunate events, one day Joseph, who was sent on an errand by his father, never came home. He was sold by his brothers to a caravan of human traffickers and ended up as a slave in a foreign country named Egypt. Talk about misfortunes. Joseph found himself at the back of the line in the true sense of the word. Well, as if that were not enough, Joseph, who was a highly trusted head slave in the house that he worked, was lied on by his boss's wife, and the guy who was already at the back of the line was moved even further. He was sent to top security prison where the king's prisoners were confined. Genesis 39, 1-20. Sometimes the unfortunate events of life land us at the back of the line, a place of unpleasant experiences, a place of rejection and demotion, a forgotten place, a place where you hardly expected to find yourself. It's as if the stars are aligned against you. For some people, time at the back of the line seems like forever, and nothing that you try to do seems to be helping you to experience anything better. In fact, Joseph found himself in a hopeless position. No known plan for getting out of prison. Joseph was languishing in prison, and there was no chance of an appeal or retrial. Don't you know that when you are in Joseph's position, it seems as if God has forgotten you? But has he? How do you make sense of what the scripture says? Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1 and verse 9. Someone might argue that prison life for Joseph was not the worst. He was a prisoner with benefits and status. But while Joseph was there in prison, the Lord was with him. He showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Genesis 39 verses 20 to 23. But the reality is that he was still in prison. I don't know if this provided Joseph with much consolation. What is real is that it really does seem like a hopeless situation. But please know, there is a God who remembers you and he is working things out for your good. Just you wait and see. I remember part of a song that says, "He's an on-time God. Yes, he is." Well, here's a further encouraging line from the same song. He may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. Those athletes who did not get the medal they thought they deserved left the games they participated in dejected and forlorn. Think of the athlete who was awarded fourth place. No medal, no benefit that is accrued to medalists from an Olympic Games. They must have felt like failure, like losers. Maybe they never tried going to another Olympic Games. But the lady who spoke that testimony of God, moving her from the back of the line to the front, she had faith, my friend. And I feel that Joseph also had faith. And I want you to stir up your faith. Joseph had dreams from years before that spoke of him being in a position of power and influence, and that his brothers would be honoring him. Surely he must have held on to the hope from those dreams. The Olympians were hopeful when they heard news that some athletes who won medals over them stood to lose their medals. Hope began to emerge again. And then it happened. Joseph was summoned to the Pharaoh's palace. There he solved a mystery for the king, and he was rewarded handsomely by being appointed to become second in command in Egypt. Man, God came through for Joseph in an unexpected way. That day, God moved Joseph from the back of the line to the front. He can do it for you. He will definitely do it for you too. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. James 4 and verse 10. Hold on, my friend. God is on the way with your supernatural blessings. Put your shoes of faith on and hold back on, because he is coming to move you from the back of your line to the front. You will be upgraded from defeat and despair to victory and super blessings, from being a nobody to being somebody, from what they call a loser to a sure winner. You are about to be moved from the back of the line to the front.